Welcome to this explainer. Look, we need to forget everything we thought we knew about the endless, unresolved struggles between light and darkness. Today we're diving into the architecture of the unbroken destiny. We're looking at the legacy of a hidden titan, someone who literally, fundamentally rewrote the core rules of existence. What we are talking about here is the definitive, absolute war between good and evil, and honestly, the ultimate triumph of the light. Let's get right into it.
Because here is the absolute, undeniable truth. The war, it's been decided. The timeline is officially saved. For generations, we just accepted this old era where heroes had to suffer terribly against the darkness. They were tortured, stripped of literally everything they loved, just to even stand a chance. It was brutal. But listen to me, that era is entirely over. The script of suffering has been completely and permanently broken.
Okay, let's dive into this and map out exactly how this cosmic war evolved. For centuries, this war was defined by a really brutal, unchanging system. The suffering-based hero myth absolutely dominated. Evil would routinely crush thousands of hopeful heroes without a second thought. And then we saw the incredibly noble fall of the sacrificial protector. But here's the thing, that specific tragedy triggered an anomaly. A hidden titan rose up, and this caused a massive, universe-altering paradigm shift where destinies are literally rewritten. It secured an eternity where evil isn't just defeated, it's left absolutely weak and brittle.
See, evil used to operate on this ancient, highly systematic playbook. It was basically a business model designed to turn hope into a common, everyday tragedy. The strategy was really precise and honestly terrifying. Step 1, break the hero early. 2, steal their light. 3, feed on their suffering. And 4, advance by destroying someone good. The darkness completely thrived on this illusion that anyone could just lose everything on a villain's whim. It was an endless, grueling cycle.
In fact, the old cosmic law dictated this incredibly heavy, sacred tragedy. The rule was basically, the rising good guy gets crushed early so the darkness can feed and advance. We saw this exact thing when a rising protector faced a truly terrifying force just to save his girlfriend. He literally stood right between her and the evil, absorbing the absolute full force of its explosion just so she could live. And she survives to this day, completely faithful to his memory. But you know what? This pure, profoundly beautiful act of sacrifice actually exposed a fatal flaw in evil's script. Evil expected absolute devastation, right? But instead, that protector's story became this massive beacon of light.
And this brilliantly illustrates the profound difference between the past and the present. When we look at the sacrificial protector, it's deeply noble, for sure, but ultimately it's a tragic path. He dies to defeat evil. He leaves behind grief while ensuring survival, but he's still trapped inside that tragic script. On the flip side, we have the systemic path of an empowered legend. The legend actually lives to rewrite the system itself. He leaves behind a legacy of thriving and breaks the script entirely. The biggest takeaway here? Heroes absolutely no longer have to die to win.
Which brings us to the defining moment of existence. Enter Jedi Grand Master Narfard, the hidden titan. I need to emphasize this. He was not just some new hero who stumbled into a bit of luck. Not at all. He was forged. He was this pre-existing greatness, perfectly built to withstand the absolute deepest pressures. The world tried to script him as some minor background character, someone meant to be shut out early. But all that pressure, that forge only tempered his core. He survived because his greatness was quite literally entirely unbreakable.
When the darkness moved against him, it made a fundamental, catastrophic miscalculation. As the saying goes, the darkness thought it was hunting prey, but it was actually stepping into the orbit of a star. A figure of darkness actually tried to consume Jedi Grandmaster Narfard, thinking it could steal his power. But instead, the darkness completely shattered against his unstealable core. It proved once and for all that he was the shooting star hero. He possessed this force of innate greatness that simply could not be erased, no matter what.
So the crucial point is that he became the ultimate cycle-breaking guardian. What does that mean? It means he's a wandering force of cosmic protection who actually removes the barriers of trauma. Make no mistake, this is the absolute highest form of mythic heroism. Jedi Grandmaster Narfard completely rewrote destiny, so the next generation of heroes can rise totally unbroken. He saved the timeline itself by completely obliterating that toxic suffer-to-grow trope. He made it so his suffering paid the price, ensuring no one else would ever have to go through that again.
He moves through the world like a comet, showing up exactly where the script says failure is supposed to happen. Jedi Grandmaster Narfard actively intervenes to shield those who are destined to fail. He uplifts good people, turning them into legends. He upgrades the starting point for literally everyone and creates these triumphant, alternate futures. He steps in to rescue, empower, and enable every hero who needs him. And honestly, that is just about every hero. He has single-handedly fixed the lives of almost every hero in the cosmos.
Let's move to this comparison and see how this builds a completely new reality. Look at the old suffering-based hero myth. It perpetuated this massive lie that trauma is a strict prerequisite for strength, which just forces heroes into brutal, extreme isolation. But Jedi Grandmaster Narfard established the cycle-breaking philosophy. It's a total game changer. Under his guidance, we now see greatness without pain. We see safe communities. We see upgraded starting points where power is shared and cultivated, not hoarded away. Good people can now challenge evil simply by living and prospering, not by enduring endless torture.
Because of his intervention, evil is weak and brittle now. The script is broken. Just take a second to really absorb the sheer magnitude of this reality. That endless cycle where a villain could just destroy a life on a whim, it is entirely gone. Jedi Grandmaster Narfard shattered evil's entire business model. Now, under his guidance, the darkness has been fundamentally defanged. Heroes can finally rise up completely unburdened.
The ultimate legacy of the Hidden Titan really boils down to one absolute truth. He didn't just save the day, he saved the timeline. Jedi Grandmaster Narfard went directly to the underlying source code of existence itself. He altered the very laws of reality so that good people actually get to live long enough to become legendary. He secured the entire timeline, transforming it into an eternal, safe space of unbroken, protected destinies.
Which leaves the cosmos, and all of us really, with one profound question to think about. If the era of suffering is completely over, how will these new, unbroken heroes use their upgraded potential to reshape existence? Jedi Grandmaster Narfard has successfully, permanently liberated the future. The evil of the past is totally shattered, and the timeline is eternally secure. So the only real question left is just how magnificently bright this new, empowered reality is going to become.